The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. All is beautiful, all is well, all is beautiful, all is well. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. All is beautiful, all is well, all is beautiful, all is well. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. All is beautiful, all is well, all is beautiful, all is well.
Wow, thank you, Rachel. What a beautiful start to our service this morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Thank you for joining Unity of the Valley Spiritual Center's virtual Sunday service. My name is John Ruddy. I'll be serving as your host today. Today, it's our great pleasure to welcome back one of our most beloved musical performers, Rachel Holder Henning, as our guest musician. Rachel is in such demand that she's all booked up on most Sundays, but except for the fifth Sunday of the month, when there is one. And on that fifth Sunday, she spends it with us. We're excited you could join us this morning, Rachel. We love your music and thanks for being here. It may be a while before we return to our beautiful center, so in the meantime, we greatly appreciate our speakers and our musicians who are willing to join us on Zoom. If you'd like to be added to our electronic newsletter called The Weekly Buzz to stay updated, you can opt in on our website, unityofthevalleymn.org, or email us at info@unityofthevalleymn.org. Likewise, if you have a prayer request for our prayer chaplains, you may submit it at the same email address or ask for a prayer chaplain to call you. We encourage you to subscribe to our Unity of the Valley YouTube channel, to like our Unity of the Valley Facebook page, and to visit our website at unityofthevalleymn.org to learn more about us. We're blessed to have several volunteers who make the service happen digitally each Sunday. Let me introduce you to those who are sharing their talents this morning. Sherry Johnson is serving as our daily word reader this morning. Kathleen Navarre will be delivering the prayer box blessing, and leading our affirmations. Special thanks to Deanna Reese, who produces these beautiful slides for us week in and week out. And also a special thanks to Tina Reynoso, who's sitting in as the Wizard of Oz today. She's behind the curtain working all the slides and the bells and whistles, so we appreciate Tina. And we appreciate everyone's contribution, their unique contribution to our service each Sunday. So we do have a few reminders. As always, unless you have a role in today's service, please keep your microphone on mute until the end. Likewise, if you're going to be multitasking while you watch the service, please turn off your video so as not to distract other viewers. Those controls are in the lower left-hand corner of your Zoom screen. And finally, please refrain from using the chat feature during the service, as it distracts from the music and the message. So we invite you to take a deep breath and get comfortable, tune out any distractions, let in the love and light. After the service, you're welcome to stay on and say hello to other Unity members and guests during our online social time, and your mics at that time will be unmuted. So now I'd like to introduce our speakers so as not to interrupt the flow of our meditation time. If you were with us last Sunday, you know about Debra Engle and her wonderful, wonderful messages, and we are honored to have her back with us again today. Debra has given talks and workshops for us before to standing room only crowds, virtually, but packed crowds. And thankfully, we haven't seen the last of her. She is one of our favorites. For those of you who weren't with us last Sunday, Deb has written 4 books, including the #1 bestseller, The Only Little Prayer You Need, featuring a foreword by the Dalai Lama. Her second book, Let Your Spirit Guide Speak, received a Nautilus Award, honoring better books for a better world, as did her third book, Be the Light That You Are. Her latest book, a novel titled 20, deals with loss and hope in midlife and includes an intriguing element of mystery. It too is an Amazon #1 bestseller. So along with her writing and teaching, she mentors other writers, helping them develop books that matter. For the past 30 years, Debra has studied the renowned A Course in Miracles. Both her books and teachings reflect the rare spiritual wisdom of the Course, which you may not know is the voice of the Master Jesus, which came through the Jewish psychologist Helen Schucman in the 60s. It's revered all over the world. Debra helps bring this wisdom into our current everyday lives. We're grateful that you're here with us again today, Debra. For one, I'm looking forward to hearing your meditation and your message titled Developing 2020 Vision. We certainly need a positive way of looking at our current situation. At this time, we'd like to welcome anyone who's watching our Zoom Sunday broadcast for the first time. Please join me in this special blessing together. We offer you peace, love, and friendship. We bless you, and we're glad you're here. So now it's time for a reading of the daily word, followed by blessings of the prayer box and the reading of our affirmations. And there's Sherry. Sherry, you have to hit your button there, please.
Yep. Moving further into spirit with the daily word. The word for today is light. The light of God surrounds me. When darkness casts shadows in my life or in the life of someone I care about, I call upon the divine light that lives within me and expresses as me. Just as the light of the sun illuminates the sky, the light of God illuminates my mind, brightens my soul, and warms my heart. Even during life's darkest moments, the light of God is always shining within me, just as it shines within all people. Basking in this light, I find the strength and power to lift myself up. Through acts of service and loving kindness, I can be the light that helps guide others through any darkness they may be facing. Every smile, kind word, thoughtful deed, or offer of help has the potential to brighten someone's day. The Bible verse for today is, "They rise in the darkness as a light for the upright. They are gracious, merciful, and righteous." From Psalm 112:4. And the word for today is light.
Good morning.
Morning.
This is my beautiful prayer box for today. And this prayer box holds an infinite number of virtual prayers. So I invite you to silently add your own name and the names of anyone in your heart or on your mind who may need prayer support. These virtual prayers are known and will be addressed by the infinite. We know that the truth behind all appearances of disharmony is the divine and perfect presence of the infinite, which we call God, Spirit, or Source. We call forth within all people the wisdom and strength, the love and peace, the wholeness and vitality of this perfect presence. We affirm that the requests in our prayer box and in our hearts and on our minds are being resolved in divine timing for the highest good of all concerned. We send love and light not only to these people and circumstances, but to our community, our country, and our world. May the love of God enfold us. May the peace of God uphold us. May the wisdom of God inspire us and help us to know in our hearts that all is well. And so it is. Please join me in this wonderful affirmation for today. I look with the eyes of spirit beyond the chaos in the world to find the hidden gifts of healing. And now our affirmation for our beautiful spiritual center. We give thanks that Unity of the Valley is a prosperous, thriving, inspired, and connected community. We are growing spiritually and manifesting our dreams and goals in an energy of love, peace, and joy. Namaste.
I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is sacred love. I will leave this day as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this day as it is, go inside to find my God. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is sacred love. I will leave this life as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this life as it is, go inside to find my God. Go inside to find my God. I'll go inside to find my God.
As we begin the meditation this morning, I invite you to get comfortable wherever you're seated. Close your eyes and take in a big, deep breath and let it out with a big sigh. And then take in another big breath and let it go. And one more time, big breath in and exhale. Feel how good it feels simply to relax and to turn within. Giving yourself permission to let go of any distractions, any cluttered thoughts, anything but that simple, still, beautiful peace within. And now, in your mind's eye, in your imagination, I invite you to see yourself and feel yourself as a bird soaring through the sky. Letting yourself feel free, uplifted, carried on the breeze, feeling how effortless and how easy it is simply to rise above everything. And feel yourself so supported as you glide and soar and fly through the air. And as you do this, look down upon the world below you and everything that your eyes light upon, just bless it. Bless every person you see, every structure you see, every tree, every blade of grass. As you feel the joy flowing through you of this freedom and lightness of being and complete support, just allow all of that to be extended to everyone and everything that you see in this world, and bless it with your vision. Notice the beauty as you glide through the air. Notice how wondrous this world is. Let yourself be drawn to all of the expressions of beauty in nature, in humanity, in architecture, in all of the creations of man that you can see from a distance as you soar through the sky and you bless everything you see. Take a moment just to feel how this feels to you to extend those blessings. With no judgment, no attachment, simply a vision of beauty and wonder. Wherever you go and whatever you see. If there's something that you are most grateful for in this moment, go ahead and express that to yourself silently now. And know that you can come back to this place, this experience at any time, to remember the freedom in you and your ability to bless all that you see. Now take in a big, big breath. Let it out with a sigh. Take in another big breath and let it go. And one more time. Take in a breath and exhale with gratitude and love and light. And so it is.
And holding your breath is safer than breathing. When letting go is braver than keeping. When innocent words turn to lies, and you can't hide by closing your eyes. When pain is all that they offer, like a kiss from the lips of a monster. You know the famine so well, but never met the feast. And the home is the belly of the beast. The ocean is wild and over your head, and the boat beneath you is sinking. Don't need room for your bags, hope is all that you have. So say the Lord's Prayer twice. Hold your babies tight. Surely someone will reach out a hand and show you a safe place to land. Oh, imagine yourself in a building up in flames, being told to stand still. The windows wide open, sleep is on faith. You don't know who will catch you, but I know somebody will. The ocean is wild and over your head, and the boat beneath you is sinking. Don't need room for your bags, hope is all that you have. So say the Lord's Prayer twice. Hold your babies tight. Surely someone will reach out a hand and show you a safe place to land. Be the hand of a hopeful stranger, a little scared but you're strong enough. And be the light in the dark of this danger till the sun comes up. Be the hand of a hopeful stranger, a little scared but you're strong enough. And be the light in the dark of this danger till the sun comes up. Be the hand of a hopeful stranger, a little scared but you're strong enough. And be the light in the dark of this danger till the sun comes up. 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 Till the sun comes up.
Thank you, Rachel. That was so beautiful. I could listen to you all day long. Oh, you set such a tone for the service today. And as always, I know I remark on this every single time, but I'm never surprised, but I'm always amazed at how the message of the service or the talk and the music go together so beautifully, even though we haven't arranged this or scripted it. We just know that that's been done by a higher source, a higher power that choreographs and orchestrates things so beautifully. That line at the very beginning of the song about you can't hide by closing your eyes. Oh my gosh, that's exactly what we're talking about. The whole song is what we're talking about today. You know, I think in 2020, there are a lot of times for a lot of us where we think, oh, can I just close my eyes until the sun comes up? Maybe we want to pull the covers over our head and just hide. In fact, I've heard that from a number of people where just the fatigue of the uncertainty, what seems to be an ongoing conflict, not knowing, can really take a toll on our psyche, on our body, on our energy level. And so a lot of people have had that feeling, and I know I've had it as well, of maybe today I can just, you know, kind of stay in bed, throw those covers over my head, and things will be better later. So what we want to talk about today is maybe another option. Maybe that instead of seeing 2020 as a year that makes us want to hide and close our eyes, that maybe there are some hidden gifts in this year that if we could just change our perspective, then maybe we would uncover those treasures. Because the truth is that, boy, we could work for the rest of our days to try to change everything and make it better and heal everyone and make the world be what we want it to be. But we know that that's really not the way, partly because every one of us would have a different vision, a different idea, a different perspective on what that perfect world would be like, right? But what we can each do within ourselves is that we can start to change from physical sight that can be very limited in what it sees and switch instead to a 2020 vision, a spiritual vision, where we can be more like that bird in the meditation, seeing things from just enough of a distance that instead of seeing all of the hardships, instead of being so attached to the difficulties and the suffering and the sadness, that instead we are seeing the beauty and the wonder of it, and we are extending blessings to all as we go. Now, we'll talk about this in some depth because I know for me, even as I say these words, I can always feel this little ego voice. It's usually right over here for me saying, well, you can't possibly mean that. You can't mean that we could look at this world with all of the hardships this year and overlook them somehow. Wouldn't that be hiding our heads in the sand? So we're going to talk about that here in just a minute. But I want to start by telling you a little story that I think probably all of us can resonate with, because I think stories are always so helpful in understanding these bigger principles. This is a story of a friend of mine named Jo, who, when she got into a new relationship back a few years ago, she was over at her boyfriend's house one day, and she was taking care of his plants. Lots of different plants on the kitchen counter, and she loves plants, so she was watering all of them and talking to them, except there was this one plant. She knew that that plant had been given to her boyfriend by his ex-girlfriend. When she looked at that plant, she thought, well, I don't want to take care of you. You have a special attachment, special relationship with my boyfriend, and I know where you came from, and no, I'm not going to take care of you. And so she just started ignoring this plant every day, you know, as she tended them, and she took off old leaves, and when she watered them a couple of times a week, she just kept skipping over that one. And then a miracle happened. The miracle was not that that plant bloomed or flourished despite her neglect. It wasn't that, that a different plant came in and took its place. The miracle took place in her mind. This is really the definition of a miracle from A Course in Miracles point of view. A miracle is a change in perception, and it's a natural occurrence of love. Two things, a change in perception and a natural occurrence of love. And in a moment, Jo, as she was watering and tending the plants, she had a miracle in her own mind where, for whatever reason, probably because she just opened up to something different in her thinking, a new way of seeing, she thought to herself, you know, this is kind of silly. This plant isn't really any different from any of the other plants. It deserves to have all of the same care as I'm giving to all of the others, And oh, isn't it interesting that the only thing that makes it different is in my mind? The only thing that makes it different is my judgment and my attachment to my boyfriend and to whatever happened in his past, and thinking that things need to be a certain way. And when she asked for all of that to be healed, all of that old baggage, all of those old beliefs that made her look at that innocent plant with some anger or some resentment or some thoughts of separation, now all of a sudden healing took place. And she watered that plant and she tended it just like all of the rest. Did the plant benefit? Well, certainly, because the plant needed some water, it needed some care. But probably the one who benefited the most was Joe. That's where the healing happened. The plant was just a reflection of the healing, that the call for healing in her that she maybe didn't even know that she had. But when she stopped for a moment and she allowed herself to have a different perspective, to see in a different way, she saw the reality of what was going on, that this was all in her belief system. That's where the hurt was coming from. That's where the need for healing was. And that when she said yes to a different kind of perspective, then the healing for her and the plant could take place. Now, how does this relate to 2020? Well, I'm guessing that there are a lot of things for all of us that we're looking upon and we're judging them in some way. We're saying that's not right. I can't have the same kind of relationship with this because everything is different, or because it's not the way it used to be in the past. I think we probably don't even realize how much of what we're looking upon every single day impacts us. When we walk into a grocery store or any public place and we're wearing a mask or not, and we see other people wearing masks or not, it's different, right? This is not how we've lived most of our lives. And even though this has been going on for a few months, there's still something that's triggered in our minds that says, but this is different. This isn't how things used to be. And it brings up that need or that feeling that there's something there that's wrong, that needs to be changed. It can be something so simple as just driving down the road and seeing a school bus. This happened to me the other day. I was driving to Winterset, a few miles from where we live. And, it was about 3:30 in the afternoon, and I met a school bus coming along. And in the past, whenever I've seen a school bus, I've always had this good feeling of, oh, the kids have had a good day at school. Now they're going home. They're going to do their homework, have their time with their family. Just all of these thoughts that we don't even realize we're having would typically go through my mind. This time when I saw the school bus, it was, oh, I wonder how many kids are on that bus. I wonder how many kids are at home. I wonder how many kids maybe are being exposed to COVID. I wonder if the schools will stay open for a few more days or weeks. I wonder, and everything felt wrong about this instead of feeling right. This is happening to us on a daily level, again, in ways that we don't even necessarily consciously acknowledge. But our ego minds, those smaller minds in us that are always looking for something to be wrong, those minds are picking up on this all the time and saying, wait a second, that's not how things used to be. Something needs to be fixed, it needs to be changed. There is something wrong here. Our ego minds are looking on school buses and masks and all of these other things in this world, just the way Joe looked upon that plant and judged it for being different. That's what our ego minds do from our physical sight. We look at what's in front of us and we evaluate it. We judge it based on what we've known to be true in the past. We have emotional responses to it just because we have a judgment and an attachment about how things are supposed to be. And that is actually what makes us want to hide. This is kind of a big shift in thinking, but just imagine if it's not really the pandemic, if it's not really the political division, if it's not really all of the things that we can look at with our physical eyes in this world and say, that's making me tired, that's making me afraid, that's making me want to stay in bed and pull the covers up over my head. What if instead we could go inside and we could say, oh, you know what? All is well. The sun is still coming up every single day. The problem actually is in how I am seeing, what I'm choosing to see, and all of the baggage and the projection that I'm putting on what I'm seeing. Now that may seem crazy. You know, we are dealing with a pandemic that, you know, is affecting people all over the world. So certainly there are things in this world that we want to change, but depending on whether we look at them with physical sight or with spiritual vision, we're going to have a totally different experience of those same exact things. So let me give you a couple of lines from A Course in Miracles that I think can really help put this in perspective. They're two of my very, very favorite lines. One of them says, "See only love, for that is what you are. See only love, for that is what you are." And the other is, when you want only love, you will see nothing else. When you want only love, you will see nothing else. So what if we could look at 2020 differently, not from our physical eyes, not from just seeing the physical form of things and remembering how they've always been before and wondering when they'll get back to that normal. But what if instead we could see through spiritual eyes? We could see the way God sees, the way the Holy Spirit sees, the way Jesus sees, the way that bird that we were as we flew through the air sees. What if we could, instead of seeing a mass illness in this world, we could see a mass healing in this world? What if instead of really focusing on isolation, we could focus instead on all of the possibilities for greater connection through technology, through neighbors coming together, through people coming up with interesting, innovative ideas in their neighborhoods to bring people closer together and to have conversations with folks that they've lived next to for years and maybe have never spoken to before? What if instead of political division, looking at that through our physical eyes, we could see it through spiritual eyes instead and see it as opportunities for cooperation? Again, your little ego mind, like mine sitting right over here, can be saying, yeah, that's just sticking your head in the sand and pretending things are okay and putting a happy face on it. But what we're talking about here is actually something very, very different. This is not denial. It's not being a Pollyanna. It's not putting on a pair of rose-colored glasses. It is literally choosing to see either with the physical eyes of the ego or with the spiritual eyes of God, Spirit, Source, Jesus, the Masters, our higher self. And when we choose which eyes we're looking through, then we shift from sight to vision. And that is a very, very different thing. Now, this can seem maybe too big to do. How could we possibly do this? Isn't this something that we have to strive for our entire lives? Well, probably we will be on this journey our entire lives, because I think this spiritual journey is what we're really here for, to learn, to grow. But here's another key line from A Course in Miracles that I think puts it all in perspective. The Course says that every experience, every situation, every relationship, everything properly perceived is an opportunity for growth and healing. So let me say that again. Every situation, relationship, circumstance, whatever, everything properly perceived is an opportunity for growth and healing. Now, the key words there are the properly perceived, right? Because it's the proper perception that moves us from that ego voice and those eyes of fear to the vision of spirit. The truth is, we're going to find exactly what we're looking for. If we're seeing through the physical sight of the ego that's believing at a core level that we're not enough, that we don't matter, that this world is a scary place, then certainly we can find all sorts of evidence to support that sight every single day. We can look on everything from the place of, I don't matter, I've messed up, I will never be lovable, this place is scary, I'm going to disappoint others, and I'm not sure that anyone will ever like me. That's really the side of the ego, and again, it will find plenty of evidence to support it. But when we shift our vision, not just put on a different pair of glasses, but literally shift our vision by toggling over by choosing to be in our higher mind, to see it with the eyes of the Holy Spirit, to see with the eyes of God, to see this world and ourselves as the light and joy and beauty that we were created from and extensions of, then we're going to see beauty and wonder and innocence and light everywhere we look. We're going to be like that bird soaring through the sky, looking on everything, and instead of seeing the hardship and the struggle, the divisiveness and the separation, instead we're going to see the opportunities for all of us to come together in new ways. Those are the hidden gems of 2020. So let's just talk very briefly about a few things that you can do every day, because I think it always comes down to the application. You know, these things are wonderful to talk about, but how do we get there? How do we do it? Well, one of the first is just to wake up every morning and ask Spirit, commit to yourself that you are going to move through the day, letting go of attachment and judgment. Kind of like Joe with that plant, that you're going to let go of any of those old attachments or beliefs that keep you thinking that there's a special relationship with anything. You know, the fact that I have a special relationship with school buses was a real aha moment for me. I need to let go of what school buses used to represent and instead enter every single day empty, and then let God fill us up. Let Spirit, Source, Creator, Universe fill us up with a light that flows through us instead of staying attached to those old pictures from the ego sight of how things are supposed to be. So that first one, just wake up in the morning, ask for spiritual vision, choose spiritual vision, commit to spiritual vision. And as you go through your day, meet everyone throughout the day as though you have never met them before, free of judgment and ready to be filled up with the gifts that they give to you. Okay. Another one that's really important to do is to look beyond what you see underneath the sight, the physical sight, to that spiritual vision. And instead of asking, what is it? What am I looking at? Instead ask, what is it for? What am I seeing and what does it represent from an opportunity of healing? So when Joe looked at that plant, instead of seeing it from physical sight and judging it and making it separate and apart, instead she experienced that miracle to be able to look upon it and say, what is it for? Oh, this plant is here to bring beauty just like every other plant. And isn't it interesting that this plant is actually here to teach me how to let go of those special relationships to things that no longer serve me, to those attachments that keep me stuck and annoyed and frustrated and angry and wanting to pull the covers up over my head. And finally, let yourself be like that bird in the meditation. I hope you'll go back to that meditation every day if you want, multiple times a day. Hopefully it gives you a feeling of peace just as you experience it. But over time, all of these meditations can really help to shift us from physical sight to spiritual vision, because they give us the opportunity to really experience that in the moment. Again, it's not just an intellectual exercise of thinking, oh, wouldn't it feel good to really be able to look at everything and bless it? Go there. Let yourself be that bird, blessing everything. As the Course says, see only love, for that is what you are. See the love, not because that's what you're choosing to see, not just that, but because as the light, as love, as healing, as abundance, as purity, as innocence, as beauty and wonder, you can't see anything else. You see what you are. And that's the truth of spiritual vision. And those are the gifts that this year really has for us, to remind us that in every moment, every day, we get to choose to see through a different pair of eyes, to see with the Holy Spirit. It's time to see differently. See only love, for that is what you are. And repeat that affirmation. I look with the eyes of Spirit beyond the chaos in the world to find the hidden gifts of healing. Amen.
So I had a different song planned, but listening to the meditation and that lovely message, I'm going to do this one instead.
I believe in open doors. I've taken off the screen. I'm ready to let the world come inside and touch my life. I will no longer be defined by what someone else believes that I am. Now that I've dropped the weight, I am light as a feather. It's time to elevate. Soul bird, rise, lift your eyes, spread your wings, prepare to fly. This is the moment of your life. Go ahead and fly. I believe in open doors. I've taken off the screen. What did not demolish me simply polished me. Now the clearer I can see, 'cause I know where I want to go. I'm living in the flow. And now that I have dropped the weight, I am light as a feather. It's time to elevate. Soul bird, arise, lift your eyes, spread your wings, prepare to fly. This is the moment of your life. Go ahead and fly. Soul bird, rise, lift your eyes, spread your wings, prepare to fly. This is the moment of your life. Go ahead and fly. 'Cause I believe in open doors. I believe. I believe in open doors. I believe in open doors.
Thank you so much, Rachel. We just love having you here on the Sundays you can make it. Every song is a spiritual experience. If it's up to me, I'm going to rewrite the calendar, and every month we'll have 5 Sundays. So you'll be here every month. So thanks again for your contributions to our service today. And Deborah, I said this at one of your classes, but I just simply run out of paper and ink trying to keep up with all the pearls of wisdom that you shared with us, and you've certainly given us a blueprint to navigate these uncertain waters that we're in. And it just seems to me it comes down to a choice, and we can choose to to see the beauty and blessings and find the good and love in everything, or that little voice is telling us to, we see the pain and the hurt and all of that. So thank you so much for all the pearls of wisdom that you share with us, and you've given us a lot to help us during these difficult times. So thank you. So at this time, or in this time of COVID and Zoom, we still have considerable expenses to maintain our beautiful center in anticipation of our eventual return. All of us who are fond of and connected to Unity of the Valley are immensely grateful for your monetary contributions to keep our spiritual community going and thriving, as well as for your participation in our services. We affirm the natural expansion of our own prosperity as well as that of Unity of the Valley as we give of our time, talents, and treasure with the high vibration of gratitude and an open heart. Let's read the love offering affirmation together, and then you'll have time during the musical interlude to consider your love offering. You may make your contribution after the service either by mailing a check to the center or via the donate button on our website. And we thank you in advance for your contributions. So please join me. Please join me in the love offering affirmation. Together, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am.
I am light. I'm light. I am light. I am light. I'm divinity defined. I'm God on the inside. I'm a star, a piece of it all. I'm light. I'm light. I'm light. You are light, and we are the light. We are light. We are the light.
Thank you so much, Rachel. One of my most favorite songs that you do. Thanks for sharing that. Now I invite everyone to join me in blessing all contributions in good of any kind so generously given to support Unity of the Valley this week. Together, we affirm that God is our source and we are the channels. We bless these gifts given in love that serve our spiritual family and flow out into our community and beyond. We are prosperous and blessed with abundant good. Thank you, Mother, Father, God. All right, so moving into our announcements for the week, we have a number, so I'll go quickly through them. Remember that our 11 a.m. Tuesday morning guided meditation is broadcast live by one of our prayer chaplains each week on our Unity of the Valley Facebook page. This meditation is also held by Unity Village and other Unity centers at the same time, which adds to its power. Please join in. And second, we have our September Sunday speakers and musicians schedule, and we wanted to put this up. I don't know about you, but it's, summer's ending. All of the summer stuff that we normally would like to do, I don't know, people are maybe going back to school, but it's time now for us to kind of get into fall mode at Unity, and that usually means showing up every Sunday and participating in all the events. So we wanted to get the calendar out, look at what a great schedule we have, and I encourage you to reach out to others that you haven't seen for a while and encourage them to start coming back here. But so you see Barb Christ and Claire Vanderkramert on the 6th. Tim Francic is doing both the music and the speaking on the 13th. Debra Engle will be back to join us along with Rich Miller. And you can see all of Debra's past messages when she's spoken to us. They can be viewed on our YouTube page. And her previous classes were recorded and they are available for sale on our website. So you can own these pearls of wisdom. I'm just telling you, it's a great investment. And then on the 27th, Drake Powell and Claire Vanderkramert will be back. Really excited about September, so tell your friends, and let's get back to 40, 50, 60 members every Sunday. All right, and then our next announcement, we have the Evening Max Meditation by Catherine Belisle, and it is Monday, September 21st. Remember that not only is Catherine offering this at a 50% off rate for you, but she is donating all the proceeds back to Unity of the Valley. So this is a great opportunity for you to get in some meditation and also support Unity of the Valley. So it says, please join us for an evening of meditation using the Max Meditation System. It's based on a fusion of ancient techniques of yoga and mind acrobatics combined with modern techniques of psychology and neuro-linguistic programming. It includes relaxation, passive meditation, active meditation, and guided visualization. Please sign up. And then next, I'm just continue to be excited to announce the Friday Night Light Concert Series. The countdown is on. The Friday Night Light Concert Series starts September 11th, Friday, September 11th. Please help us promote the series. On Friday, we sent out a flyer with all of the performers on them, with all the links are live now. You can start buying tickets, and you can pass that flyer on. Please send it to other people, and they can purchase tickets. And then also we have put the announcements on Facebook, so you can share those announcements on Facebook. So on the next slide, you'll see our first performer, Gina Sotoli. She's a visionary songstress, a performing artist, playwright, and composer. She performs in what's kind of a themed cabaret-style performance. So what she's doing for us is one of her newer performances. It's called Transformation Earth, and it is a sacred healing musical performance that vibrates deep into your very being. It's a powerful performance for the regeneration and evolution of humanity, the earth, and all of life. You need to be there. And then next, we want to start promoting also Daniel Nahmad. Daniel, you'll recognize we've already done one song of his, and coincidentally we'll be closing with one of Daniel's songs. He is one of the most successful and admired independent artists in the United States. We sing his songs all the time, so hopefully you recognize him. And he'll also be promoting his latest album. And then next in September, Friday, September 25th, we have one of the most beloved New Thought singer-songwriters in all of New Thought, positive music. Karen Drucker is going to be with us. She's been a music director at 3 different New Thought centers. She's won an award, the Grace Note Award, for her work within Unity Movement. So again, everyone knows Karen. Please mark your calendar. Please be there. And check the buzz every week. We're doing a Thursday buzz to promote each individual artist, and then on Friday we do a special edition, and you'll get the list of all of the performers. So keep a watch out for that, and please start signing up and start promoting it. It's a lot of it's going to depend on your involvement. Thank you for that. All right, so let's now move to our prayer for protection, and let's do this together. The light of God surrounds me. I am that light. The love of God enfolds me. I am that love. The power of God protects me. I am that power. The presence of God watches over me. I am that presence. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever God is, I am, and all is well. Thanks for joining us today. Be well. Stay connected with Unity. If you'd like to be part of the Zoom social after the service, stay logged in to the meeting after the closing song. Say hi to Unity friends and guests. We're going to conclude now as Rachel leads us in our closing song, and it's entitled Everything New, and it's by Daniel Nahmad.
through dreaming that the life I had is ever coming back. No more wishing on someone else's star that'll never be mine. Oh, I think it's a time to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. Yes, I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I've survived many times before, broken hearts and slamming doors. I'll be alright, yes I will once more, just as I did back then. I'm gonna rise again, so bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. Yes. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new.
Best service ever. Rachel and Debra, thank you so much. My God, what a